Okay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Laurene. I am Aaron's sister. I am doing a video today to give Dad a bit of a rest, I suppose. This video is to hone in on Christopher Morton. So I have had the utter displeasure of recently rewatching Christopher Morton's entire interview, an interview conducted by none other than Pat Marry and Bobby Ogle. An interview that is laced with lies and utter nonsense. So what we've decided to do is break 6 minutes of this entire interview into 3 segments to allow us to really highlight the lies and, for a better word, bullshit that is spewed by this young man. Lies that what we can only believe were told for his own personal gain or financial gain, whatever it may be. But you will see quite clearly as we break this down that this man is a liar. He is a liar, and he lied about Aaron Brady. So we'll jump into the first segment now. You can have a watch, and then we'll come back and I will break it down a little bit further.
He told you who he was and you orders that made contact with him. And what did you tell him?
Told him a couple of years back after the wedding. It was late at night. Probably between 5 and 6 in the morning. And I went to the Tombstone Saloon.
Around 6 in the morning, you say?
Between 5 and 6. Sounds very funny. 6 in the morning.
So in this first clip, we see Morton describe and revisit his initial interaction with Pat Marry. So we know this is not his first conversation or communication with him regarding this witness statement. Morton claims this fabricated conversation with Aaron Brady happened on the second day celebration of a Hughes wedding. A lot of people travelled from Crossmaglen over to New York to celebrate this wedding. Morton also asserts that this alleged conversation with Aaron happens at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. It's important just to remember that, and we will revisit that in the later segments. I suppose what stands out for me here the most is the body language and the conversation that is held between Morton and Pat Marry. It's so casual and almost jovial and joking, talking about something so serious of a guard being shot. It's almost sickening for me to watch, and it really puts serious doubt on the credibility and the integrity of this entire witness statement and this witness, Christopher Morton. So moving on to segment number 2, and we'll come back and we'll dissect that further.
At the where?
The Tombstone Saloon on 233rd Street in the Bronx.
233rd.
Yeah.
233 Street. Bronx.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So in that very short segment that you have just watched, you hear Morton speaking of the location of this fabricated first encounter, an interaction with Aaron Brady. Again, I highlight that Morton claims that this is the only time and first time he has ever met Aaron Brady. And this is in the Tombstone. The Tombstone could only be described as a late bar. It's a rundown, I suppose, dingy, dimly lit establishment. The kind of place you'd find yourself in after a long session of drinking, a long weekend of drinking. And we just bring your attention to this because this establishment kind of underscores the dubious nature of Christopher Morton's narrative here. It paints a picture of in an environment where things could be misconstrued, misinterpreted, or blurred. Now, we're going to move on to the bigger section of the three. I'll let you have a watch of it and then we'll come back and we'll dissect that.
I went up to the bar to get a drink just after I got there. There was a fella sitting next to me with his girlfriend. I got chatting to him. I asked him who he was. And he just said Brady. I said, my name's Chris.
He gave the name Brady. Did he give a Christian name?
No, not at the time.
He said you were Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd heard about the stories of who was accused of shooting the guard.
Who was accused? Or
That Aaron Brady had been
who?
accused.
Aaron Brady was the name you mentioned, was it?
He hadn't mentioned me. He took
No,
me.
but from the stories you got, Aaron Brady was the
Aaron Brady
name.
was the name mentioned.
Just at this point, can I ask you, did you ever hear of that name before, or did you know that name, or
I only heard about it in conjunction
Right.
with what had happened.
prior to this? Yeah,
For odd stuff, yeah. Like I didn't know him personally.
You didn't
But I
know
heard some
yet.
stuff about him, like criminality
You had heard that name mentioned before
in different circles.
in different
yeah.
circles.
Yeah. But I didn't know who he was personally.
What was the conversations about when you were playing?
So I asked him who he was. He said Brady. I said Chris. And then I was a little tipsy, so I just asked him straight out, "Are you the lad that's on the run for shooting the guard?" And he said, "Yeah, I shot him." And then he very quickly changed the subject. I guess he recoiled. Was trying to take it back. But he said very nonchalantly.
You're the lad that's on the run for shooting the Garda. And he said,
"Yeah, that's me. I'm the one that shot him."
hmm?
He said, "Yeah, that's me. I'm the one that shot him."
And
Then-
what way did he say that? Did he
He just said it like if it was normal, you know.
he spoke normal?
No, like a normal demeanour, you know.
Normal demeanour.
Kind of scoffed it off. But then, like I say, I suppose he thought he made a mistake. And then we had a shot together.
So he scoffed it off.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't go into any detail.
No, he didn't.
How did you perceive the comment?
I didn't. I laughed at him for a second. Didn't believe him, but then I believed him, just because he wasn't laughing back. And I felt a little uneasy, so I bought him a shot. And then we talked about construction jobs that we'd done for about 5-10 minutes, and then I left his company because I felt uncomfortable. Went over to my mates.
He then felt uneasy. You bought him a shot.
Yeah, because I was getting drinks in for the boys, so I got him a shot while I was doing it.
Garda what? Can you remember?
Jameson.
You joined your own company then?
Yeah.
Where did you join your own
Right.
company?
I was getting the drinks first of all for the boys, but I felt a little uneasy as well at the conversation. So I kind of wrapped it up, talked about construction, and then moved on.
Okay, so what we've just watched there is what Morton claims is that this man, this stranger, confesses to murder with a completely casual, almost nonchalant demeanour. So we are expected to believe that a total stranger allegedly makes this admission of a cold-blooded murder. And Christopher Morton's response to that is to buy the man a drink and then stay to share the drink with this man. Morton then continues with his web of lies, saying that he felt uneasy and uncomfortable, but yet decided to stay and chat to the man for a further 10 minutes about construction. Even wilder, Morton then returns to his own company, his own group of friends, after being at the bar for almost maybe 20 minutes, and says nothing about a confession of murder to any of them. I don't care how drunk or what state you're in or how tipsy, you mention it, you make comment, someone asks, where have you been? It makes no sense. This man is a liar and he is a criminal and he is lying for his own gain. So now you've watched the full 6-minute segment and viewed the sheer absurdity of Morton's testimony and story and narrative he was peddling. Watching this interview actually made my blood boil and made me feel physically sick. The fact that this man's lies defy basic logic and human behaviour. Here's the kicker. Christopher Morton never had that interaction with Aaron Brady because Aaron Brady was not in the tombstone that night. I know this for a fact, and Christopher Morton may still not know, but for that weekend I was in New York visiting Aaron. Me and Aaron were both invited to the day 2 of the wedding. I accepted and attended. Aaron declined and stayed at home with his housemate. So Christopher, you did not meet Aaron that night. You did not have any interaction with Aaron that night because he was not in the tombstone. I was in the tombstone. So you are, again, I will highlight, a liar. How another human being could create such a story and a narrative of evil lies to do what you done to my brother is absolutely beyond sickening. It's depraved. Christopher Morton, your testimony wasn't actually used in Aaron's trial because of the illegal and unethical way it was obtained from you by Pat Marry, Bobby Ogle, and US agents Katske and Wade. But make no mistake, Morton, you played a key role in the framing of my brother. You are a key component and helped these guards build this case. And for that, you will never be forgotten. We know that the identification you made of Aaron Brady was not used because it was taken unlawfully. Again, by guards Marry and Ogle and US agents Wade and Katske. And everyone will get a chance to see that when we release the full interview at a later stage. Christopher Morton, you are a confounded liar.